Okay, number 8. I've given you this equation. Let's see. 4 plus k divided by 3 equals negative 16. How are we undoing? Oh, and by the way, I gave you the answer to this because what I wanted you to understand is that the goal in this case isn't just simply to find out what k equals. K equals negative 60. You already know that. Um, what the goal is to show the work that supports that answer at k equals negative 60. So 4 plus k divided by 3 equals negative 16. We are undoing this plus 4 with a minus 4. So we write everything that's there, minus 4 equals. Write everything that's there, minus 4. You do it to one side, you do it to the other. 4 undoes negative 4. These two things cancel out, leaving you with k divided by 3. And this is an integer problem that's tricky. You have negative 16. You're down 16. Go down 4 more. You're now down 20. Okay. You want to start thinking about integers logically in terms of things. I use a couple of examples, like the amount in your bank account. If your bank account is $16 overdrawn, you spent $16 more than you had, so that's what the balance is, negative 16. And then you spend another 4. Now you've spent $20 more than you had. Or you can also think about it, I often use the example of a scuba diver. If a scuba diver is 16 meters below the surface and then drops another 4 meters, they're now further below the surface than before, 20 meters below the surface. It just helps you to make sure that you went in the right direction and all of that. Now, k divided by 3 equals negative 20. We have to undo this divided by 3 with the times 3. Okay, so write 3 parentheses and then put everything that was on that side in parentheses equals 3 parentheses and then everything that was on that side in parentheses. These two undo each other, giving you essentially 3k over 3 or 3 over 3k, or 3 over 3 is 1, so 1k. 1k is k. So k equals positive times negative is negative, 3 times 20 is 60. That did lead to your correct answer, and that I gave that to you to make sure that you were able to know you did it right, because if you did it right, if you didn't do it right, then it wouldn't lead to negative 60 for k. So let's do a proof on it. 4 plus k divided by 3 equals negative 16. Rewrite it exactly the same. Wherever there was the variable, you put parentheses and the value that you believe it to be. Now, I've said this before. We know that that side equals negative 16. We don't need to resolve anything over here. Negative 16, negative 16, negative 16, negative 16. It's already a single number, so that just keeps moving down. Okay. The reason that I'm covering this up here is because this has gone from being an algebraic expression on the left, right? Why is it an expression? Because if I'm talking about just this left-hand side, okay, that's called an expression. I'm not talking about it's equal to something and the entire equation. That is simply just an expression, and right now we can't simplify this because we don't know the value of k, but as soon as we substitute it in, it's gone from being an algebraic expression, one with variable in it, to a numerical expression, one with just numbers. And you can simplify a numerical expression without even considering what's on the other side. So we forget about what's on the other side for a second and we say, how do we simplify this? Well, the first thing we do is this division, then we will do the addition. So this comes down. Notice this has gone from plus to minus. Why did that happen? Because negative 60 divided by 3 is negative 20. And instead of writing plus a negative 20, we can just simply write minus a positive 20 or minus 20. Okay? Plus a negative 20 still decreases this by 20, just like this decreases this original number by 20. Okay? What happens when we're at 4 and we go down 20? Well, the first 4 that we go down gets us to 0, and the other 16 gets us 16 below 0. So we're now at negative 16 equals negative 16. Great, we did it right. Give it a check. Okay. Number 9. Excuse me. Now here's the question. Massey rented a bike from the bike shop, and the question is, if Massey pays $11 per hour times, we don't know how many hours. How many hours did he rent it for? Well, $11 per hour times the number of hours rented, plus this one $7 fee to register with the bike company or to do the rental, equals 62. This is a one-time fee that we pay. doesn't get multiplied by anything. It's just a one-time $7 fee. And now we do $11 per hour times however many hours. If the total is 62, then how many hours did I rent it for? So 11h plus 7 minus 7 undoes that, equals 62 minus 7. Right? These two cancel out, giving just 11h. And this right here simplifies to 55. So now what's happening to h is being multiplied by 11. We undo that by divided by 11. We take what's there divided by 11. We do it to one side, do it to the other. And 11 over 11 is 1. 1h is just written as h. 55 divided by 11. How many times does 11 go into 55? It goes in 5 times. So we believe that h equals 5. I rented the bike for 5 hours. But we should check it to be sure. Okay, so 11h plus 7 equals 62. Rewrite it, parentheses wherever there was a variable, and plug that number in. So 11 parentheses 5, close parentheses, plus 7 equals 62. This rewritten with just the variable replaced. Okay, now as I said before, now that we have a numerical expression here, we can simplify that all the way to a single number without even looking at what's on the other side. So if we don't look at what's on the other side, we ensure that we actually just do the math to make it a number, then we compare and make sure it matches. But we're not trying to force it to say 62 if it doesn't equal 62. So we're just going to check it. Okay, 11 times 5 is 55, plus 7, 55 plus 7, 62. And now when we check, we see that it indeed does 62 equals 62 and give it a check. So we did it correctly.